There we go. Join them with women's manager Ryan Dempsey for the first of our hopefully fortnightly catch-ups. Obviously, we did one with Hakam. We're going to start doing them with you as well, Ryan.
Yep.
Firstly, just talk to us about the season so far. It's been a pretty decent start, I suppose.
Yeah. Really pleased with the start of the season. I think we thought it would just, I suppose, the main difference between the men and the women, I suppose, is not usually a big turnaround in players. So for us, I think there's 13 new players from last season. So I kind of feel like now they're all starting to bed in, like everyone's starting to try to understand our ideas, how we want to try to play. We've tweaked some things as well from previous seasons with the recruitment that we've done. But yeah, up to now, yeah, we've been really pleased with our performances, first and foremost, but then obviously with good performances has come good results as well. So yeah, we've been really pleased up until now.
How difficult is it to really kind of deal with basically what feels like a brand new squad, like you've just kind of spoken about there?
Yeah, it is difficult because there's players that have left who were big players, big personalities within the group. And obviously we've had to try to replace those as well, which we felt we've done well. And the players that have come in from a character point of view have brought lots of value to the group, have fitted in really, really well. The right age range as well with some of the rest of the squad as well. So I think we've brought the age of the squad down a little bit with the players that we have recruited in. But yeah, I think everyone within football, within sport organisations as well, that always want to bring in good people first. And sport and with our environment as well is no different. So I think we've brought in good people, young players as well, which I'm really pleased to see now. We're starting to see their personalities and their characters come out on the pitch and off it as well.
Obviously, yesterday, the FA Cup draw after obviously a nice big victory at the weekend. Most importantly, a home draw. And against what I think is a former WSL side, isn't it? Or certainly Women's Championship side in London Bees. How excited are you to test yourselves up against a team that's what I think 2 divisions higher?
Yeah, very excited. I think I suppose, yeah, it's a tough one for us really, because you want to, prior to the draw, you definitely always want a home draw, but if you want an away draw, then you probably want someone lower or equivalent level to yourself. I think that's what happened last year. So to get a home draw at the first 2 FA Cup games have been away, so to get a home draw is really, really good. We're excited for the next couple of weeks to try to promote that and try to get as many people down as we can. And yeah, especially it's always good to test against teams that are 1 or 2 levels above. I think previous seasons we've played in Tier 4 and then played a Tier 3 team last year. We acquitted ourselves very well. I think, if I'm honest, our squad is a little bit stronger than last season. So we go into every game confident. We'll try to do as much research as we can into London Bees. I'm sure to do the same for us. But yeah, we're super excited to hopefully get a good chance to get round to the next round and test ourselves against higher teams. But yeah, and definitely get as many people as we can down at Champion Hill.
Moving on, we'll come back to people and supporters at some point at the end. I suppose tomorrow night it's Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, so tomorrow night at home again in the new kind of Isthmian League Cup, which is obviously a competition open to women's teams who are part of the men's Isthmian League, isn't it? I think that's right.
Yeah.
How difficult is it factoring in the now midweek fixtures to what is usually at that level of women's football? It is usually Sunday, and no midweek. How difficult has that been?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because I think the main thing is obviously everyone works. So obviously we train on a Wednesday and a Thursday at the well for this season. Obviously last season was different when we trained Tuesday, Thursday. So I suppose it's just getting there a little bit earlier where they usually don't start till 7:30. So trying to get players there for 6:30 is a little bit more difficult. What has been the development of the club, like now that we've got a fully fitted gym available, then Thursdays makes our recovery days a lot easier. So we don't always have to use the pitch. Like we've got some good facilities now to do that. But I think it's just the excitement, the opportunity to play more games. Like within this cup, it's pretty well organised as well, different to the one we've entered the last couple of seasons for midweek fixtures. But yeah, it's an opportunity to spread the load around and get players minutes who maybe haven't played as much, or those that returned from injury. And again, I think no matter what level you play at, a midweek game under the lights is always exciting. I think everyone enjoys that as well. So that the extra work that players have to do to finish a little bit earlier, I think is definitely worth it.
Obviously, you find yourselves in a pretty decent unbeaten run at the minute as well. Where kind of really does the team go from here, and how do they push on now to catch up with the front runners of like Ebbsfleet and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think well, prior to the season, I didn't think anyone would run away with the league as much as, like, say, Worthing and Ebbsfleet did last season. Well, obviously Dartford have come in and kind of blown that out of the water at the moment. But I kind of feel like if you would have told me by Christmas time we could be potentially 6 points off Dartford with a game in hand, 9 points off with a game in hand, then we probably wouldn't have taken that. To still be in and around it. But I think the top four at the moment can beat each other, I think, which we've seen already, and take points off each other. So I think it's what we've been really impressed with is just our consistency of our performances. And what I think is a little bit different from last year when we didn't really play as well. We kind of ended up drawing or losing the game, where this season, I don't think the Saltine game we were at our best, but we ended up coming away with the victory. And when we needed to be, we've been clinical in games as well. Still an area where I think we need to improve upon. But I suppose, yeah, just ensuring that consistency and desire, determination keeps us honest, I suppose, in the future games.
Perfect. Finally, then, you touched on getting as many people to Champion Hill for the FA Cup game. Obviously, we are naturally one of the most well-supported women's teams at this kind of level, and probably the level above, in terms of the Pepper Army. How great is it to have them guys? Obviously, they all rocked up to what was a field, on Sunday afternoon, really, wasn't it? Just a recreation ground and singing along, drinking on the sidelines. How great is it to have those guys at games on a regular basis?
It's unbelievable. Like you said, it's unheard of. I think every away ground we go to, I think the best compliment you can give the Pepper Army and the club is that away clubs really enjoy the Pepper Army, and when we go to visit, because it does help those clubs as well. Helps the atmosphere. It helps us as well. Like, even 30 people, 40 people went to deep North London, and like you said, it's proper grassroots, exactly what you want from the FA Cup. And yeah, we definitely felt their support throughout that particular game. And if we highlight last season, I think it's the same round. I think when we played Aylesford away, I think we had like 50, 60 players there, supporters there, with musical instruments, banners, flags, all kind of it. And I think it's a unique club, and we have a unique following. And I suppose, like, every game we go out, we try to represent them and work as hard as we can. And I like to think we're exciting to watch. So I think that does come down to the fact that we do have a good following, good support group. And we want to, try to entertain them and try to pay back some of the support that they give us.
But that's all I've got from me. So that is us done, thankfully.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine, man. No worries.
I'll just